Welcome everyone to Divorced Heroes, where we talk about divorce and the life after from a man's perspective. Episode 2, 1 of 2. We got 2 parts for this episode. I am joined with my very good friend, the victorious one.
What's up, guys? Slick Vic here, the victorious one. And yes, I'm gonna just say, bro, I got some really good feedback from episode 1.
Yeah, I've been getting some pretty good feedback myself. Everyone said they like the content, they like the flow of the show, and that we flow very well together. And I think that has to be just us knowing each other for a very long time.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it. But then again, I think that has to do a lot with both of us going through similar situations and having each other to fall back on. So hopefully we can do the same for you guys. Keep listening, guys. Check it out. So episode 2, what are we talking about today, bro?
What to do when it's over. Now it's over. You already had the talk. You already sat down. You already made up your mind. She made up her mind that you guys are going to go ahead and move forward with the separation, with the divorce. You guys are going to speak to the kids. I mean, that's a nightmare in itself, speaking to your children. You're going to sit them down and you're going to have that talk. We'll have an episode based just on that, because that is such an ugly thing. It's every father, every mother's nightmare. Unfortunately, things happen. Right. Once again, this is from a man's perspective. So ladies, you might disagree with us, and that's okay. That's cool. We're going to be bringing in women in here in our studio and to get their perspective.
Yes.
So this is well-rounded.
But leave comments, though. Leave comments.
Leave your comments.
Share what you want. If you feel something's like not right, or, send a DM, send a comment. You can leave comments under the YouTube, under the video. So today, the first thing on our topic is what? What do we have to do?
Try to be cordial and amicable.
Oh, that's a hard one.
That is a hard one because you're full of emotions. You feel like you just got your ass kicked. You're sad. You have all these things going up and down. And especially if she's the one that chose to leave or chose to throw in the towel. Now you have to sit there with her and you have to try and work things out for your future and your kids' future, your finances, the house, how you're going to split the dog, how you're going to split, the car. You got to split everything, right?
Yeah.
And it's really, really tough because women are emotional, men are logical. So now you're going to sit down, you're going to say, hey, listen, let's try to work things out. My advice to you guys is get a piece of paper, be as fair as possible. Do not be a douchebag. Do not let the emotions get the best of you. Trust me, it's better for you to work things out between you two than to go in front of a judge and hire lawyers, because then it gets nasty. Then
it's really nasty.
Jesus. Then you start with the name calling, and then you start with the you did this and I seen you do this.
And tracking and just snooping around and a high bill from your lawyer, and then you still have to pay out. So for me, it was hard, bro. I wasn't cordial.
Yeah.
For me, it was rough because it wasn't just her throwing in the towel, it was her cheating and me finding out. So just the fact of me knowing that made it really hard, bro. Really hard.
It is. It's tough. And guys, if you are if she's the one that wants to leave, you have a small window there of opportunity where she might be level-headed because she might be feeling a little guilty. And you can actually draw something up on paper and say, hey, listen, this is how we should split the kids. This is how we should split the home. We're going to sell it. You're going to stay. I'm going to stay. Whatever it is, right? And write it down and tell her, do you think this is fair? And she's going to tell you yes or no, and then move on it. As soon as you can, submit the paperwork. Get going. Guys, because it's over. You already tried. You went through the therapy. You went to the church. You went to the counselors, the church counselors. You've done everything you can.
Yeah.
And now you just have to accept defeat and move forward. So
I'm gonna say be respectful. Yes, it didn't work for me. That's what I'm saying. Be respectful, because it will come back and bite you in the ass. And 4 years later down the line, this has been. If I would have just been cool from the beginning. You got to play the part, fellas.
You have to play the part. Be logical. Think strategic. Think what you need in the future.
Yeah.
And how to get to it. Okay, be fair. Right? Be fair. Write everything down. Okay, the next thing is you need to move out. A lot of people want to stay together. Or she needs to move out. A lot of people want to stay in the home and say, hey, I'll sleep in this room, you sleep in that room. I'll shower here, you shower there. And it doesn't work, guys. It doesn't work, because every time she walks out of that door, you're going to get hit with emotions, and you're going to start wondering, where did she go? Who is she with? Should I follow her? Should I put a tracking device in her car? And she's going to be doing the same thing for you, because although she's the one that wanted to leave, she doesn't want you to be happy just yet.
No.
She wants to be happy before you're happy. Okay?
It's funny you said tracking device. Amazon next day ship. So, guys, this was real awkward, because what she on my end, what happened was she moved out to my daughter's room for 6 months. So supposedly, if you're not living with your partner for 6 months, that before you hit them with the divorce papers, there's no grace period no more. That was your grace period.
Okay.
So her attorney told her, "Hey, go move to the next room, give it about 6 months, and then serve them with the papers, and you'll avoid the grace period."
So she had already lawyered up.
Oh, she was lawyered up.
She was ready to go.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but she was living her life, and like my partner said, watching her leave, and not knowing when she was coming back or when she would come back, just all thrown that out. It's not a good feeling.
And you start analyzing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, Victorious, when you see them leave and then come back and their hair is out of place a little bit.
You already know he was pulling on that.
Oh, jeez, man. You start, and that might not even be the case, right? Maybe whatever. But there's no reason to put yourself through that, fellas.
No, you don't want to see that coming in and out. Like you look, if you know what's happening or have a feeling it's happening, that's way different than actually seeing it happen, and it is gonna mess with your mind, guys.
So you try to keep it amicable, move out, and tell her straight off the bat, hey, listen, let's keep lawyers out of this. Lawyers can be a good thing if you absolutely need them, but getting a lawyer is such a vulnerable thing to do. You feel like you're naked. Here you have this lawyer that you're supposed to trust with how your finances are going to go, how your child support is going to happen, whether how many days a week you get to spend time with your children. This person, you're trusting this individual who you don't know. A stranger. First of all, you're giving him money.
You're hoping that
his best interest is to help you, and that's very hard, because we're told never to trust strangers. Don't give them money. Don't get in the van.
Don't talk about your problems.
Don't talk about your problems to strangers.
You're doing the exact opposite.
And you have to sit here with this guy who's wearing this really nice suit, driving a Mercedes Benz, and he's asking you all these questions, or it might be a female lawyer asking you all these questions, and now you have to just give all this personal information, and you're just looking at them with hope, saying, "What can you do for me?"
And I feel like they all give you that same spiel, right? Like, "Oh yeah, no, I can totally help you," and this and that. I feel like they told my ex that. They told me the same thing. They probably told you the same thing. And for the most part, I think it's very standard, right? If no one's playing dirty. But
if no one's playing dirty, yes.
The person starts playing dirty, it gets really expensive and really lengthy. And guys, if you guys keep the lawyers out of it, I would definitely suggest that, because 4 years into it, I just had to get rid of mine.
Yeah, and they're very expensive. Lawyers will charge you for every text message, every phone call, every email. When they send you that bill and everything is itemized, and you're like, I'm paying you $3 for a text message? I'm paying you $5 for that email response that you sent me?
Yep. It's copies.
It gets really expensive really quickly. Okay, so who knows you better than yourself and your ex-partner? Sit down, say, hey, let's draw something up. Okay, you want to leave? That's fine. I can't force you to stay. I can't force you to love me anymore. Let us go ahead and draw something up. Okay. The next thing is keep family out of it.
Yes.
You, especially her side of the family. If you're really close with her cousin or her brother or whomever, try to maintain a distance, because that can go south really quickly, where you start mistrusting people. Like, hey, how does she know that I'm doing this? How does she know that I got a promotion? How does she know that I got a new job? How does she know that I started bike riding? Like, right? Like, no one knows. Well, it must be this person that I'm hanging out with. And you start mistrusting people, and it gets really muddy.
Really muddy.
Right? Really quickly, really muddy. And maybe you have a couple beers with the cousin,
Yeah.
and then you start asking him, "Hey, have you heard about her? Is she dating you?" Man, don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
Guys.
My case, it wasn't her family. It was my family I had to worry about. And like, I'm not going to get into the details, but guys, just keep the family out of it. Because, I mean, I don't care how long you know somebody, how long you grew up with this person. He's your best brother, your best sister, your compadre, whatever you want to say, right? Oh, there's no such thing. These people will flip on you in a second.
They choose sides.
They choose sides.
Right? They start hearing both sides of the story.
It could be for anything, bro, because they never really liked you. I got that message from a family member. I never even fucking liked you.
Yeah, I never really liked you. I thought she was too good for you. I thought she was too good for you. Yeah. I'm just jealous of you.
Or they low key they wanted to get at her from the get go. You just never know.
You never know, right?
It could get really, really ugly. And you look, I learned it early on, and then probably the second year in, everyone I thought that was on my side completely flipped, right? But they still wanted to be around to get the cheese, man. Like always, that's so you got to be really mindful of who you tell,
and that's why we shed the fat, right? You have to tighten up your circle of friends.
Yeah,
you can be cool and cordial with everyone, and that's fine. Go ahead, be friendly with anyone, but when you're talking about who you're gonna open up to and who you're gonna really let into your heart and let them know this is how I'm feeling, this is what's going through my mind. I don't know what to do. Help. You need to have a tight circle of friends that you can really, really trust, even if it's just one guy.
And you'll know. Look, it's not hard. It's not hard to know who's really there for you because I was so scarred from who I thought was on my side and my compadres and my friends and all this, right? When you came to me, bro, and you're like, what's wrong? Because you saw something wrong, right?
Yeah.
I was hesitant to talk at first. I've been scarred already. Like, nah, I'm good. You know, we all say that. We're good.
Right.
And you're like, nah, you're not good.
Yeah, because I could recognize it now. You know, it's one of those things that I could see it in someone.
That's not who you were.
And you could just see that look on their face on a guy when he's going through something. Because I recognize that look. Yeah. I can spot it now and you'd say, that guy's going through something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it honestly, learning to trust that small circle of friends, right? And, like, I mean, me and you connected back after a while. We've always been, here.
Yeah, back and forth, right.
But to think that you were one of that small circle and you helped me tremendously. That's why I think whoever listens to the show is going to gain a lot of knowledge, a lot of insight, and you're going to be okay. But just tying up that circle of friends, guys. Not everyone's your friend. Not everyone's your homie. Not everyone's your best comrade, whatever you want to say.
Right.
And then, you really can't trust people.
You can't trust people. You don't want to put yourself out there to the whole world to see if you're I don't know if you made a trip down to Las Vegas, right, to blow off some steam. Maybe you went down to Catalina Island to whatever, you went down to Baja, to Rosarito to party. You don't want to put that out there to people.
No.
Okay, you want to keep it very private with your tight circle of friends or Divorce Heroes. If Divorce Heroes is your only outlet that you listen to and you can reach out to us on Instagram and say, hey, this is what I'm going. I don't know you. Yeah. Who am I going to tell?
Remember, do your alias, right?
Yeah, just give us a quick nickname.
What the first city you
went through?
Yeah.
Favorite superhero, first city you went to when you got divorced or separated, and your the year.
The year.
Okay? So, all right, divorcers? So you can reach out to us at any time.
Seek a mentor.
Seek a mentor.
Guys, mentor doesn't mean older than you. Doesn't mean wiser than you. Well, yeah, you hopefully wiser, but it doesn't mean, he has to be a divorcee as well. It's just someone that's there to guide you, right?
And been through it.
Maybe he was going through a divorce and he figured out how to fix his marriage, right? So, but he can still walk you through it. Maybe he's a younger guy. Maybe. In my case, he was younger.
Yeah, maybe.
Not too much younger, but younger. It's just a mentor, someone you can learn from. Hopefully you don't make the same mistakes they did, and they're going to be there to try to avoid you from making them.
And that's the thing. When I went through my divorce was I went to my friends, but none of my friends had gone through anything like that. So they wanted to help. They just didn't know.
Yeah.
So they said, hey, we're here for you. Whatever it is that you need to do. You want to go have a couple beers. You want to go work out. You want to just hang out in the garage and do Nothing. Let's do it.
And that's where those tight circle of friends. You put them in that category.
That's who you need to get.
But a mentor is someone that he's just been there.
He's been there,
done that.
Right.
He can see that you're masking that pain. He can see that you're not okay. He can see that, no, you don't need to drink right now. Right. You need to talk.
Yeah, you need to talk it out. So, just vent to me. What's going on? How you feeling? Well, look, you might want to you might want to take this into consideration. You might want to take this into consideration. Hey, look out for this. Don't be dumb. Don't do this.
So I guess you could say we're kind of mentors.
I guess so.
To anyone listening.
Divorce Heroes. Divorce Hero and the Victorious are mentors. Put that on my resume.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, realistically, yeah, bro. Because I mean, we've probably been through most of the stuff you're either going to go through, or going through, or about to go through.
Exactly.
And you know, there's stages. That's one thing I learned from you. There's stages to this.
There is stages, and you bounce back and forth, right? So you might think, one of the things is you have really, really bad days where you don't think you're going to be okay. You tell yourself, what happened to my life? I went from having this huge house with a pool and palm trees with nice cars in the garage to now I'm in this little apartment with no front yard, and I have to share my barbecue grill with 300 other. Yeah. So, but then you have these moments of clarity where you tell yourself, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be fine. I'm a tough person. I went through stuff before. I'm a college graduate, or I was whatever. I'm a tough guy.
And sometimes you need that mentor to get that out of you. Right. Because not everyone can get that part of you out.
And little by little, your bad days will be few and your good days will be many. Mm-hmm. And the shift will happen. Right. But then you might have those moments where you walk into your little apartment and you see where your daughter left her shoes. And it's been 3-4 days that those shoes been in that corner. And that's a reminder that you haven't seen her. She hasn't been there in 3-4 days. And that hurts, man, that hurts. That's when, you start analyzing everything that's going around you, and you start thinking like, what happened? Why am I here?
You know what? I was getting to that point this weekend. It was my youngest birthday this weekend.
Oh, that hurts.
And she wasn't with me, right?
Yeah. So
in the last however years, it's always been us. And this was the first year I didn't have her with me.
Right.
So it was like, man. And you're right. Like I walked into her room. I was just kind of looking at her room and just checking it out. Little stuffed animals. It's like, yeah. What happened?
What happened?
So, guys, I was doing really good. I'm still doing good. But I was on a great run, right? But I had that moment of it just hit me.
It does. And, I've been divorced for, I think I'm going on 7 or 8 years. And I still have these little moments like that, too, where I think for a quick second, like, what could have been and what is no more, right? I mean, they're very, very small now. Right. It's not like it used to be, but it has to revolve around my children. When I see their toys, or I see, their drawings that they made and they posted up on the fridge, I start thinking, and you kind of get sucked back into that little funk. But you think to yourself, I'm in a very good place now.
Right. And you have to tell yourself that.
Yeah, I'm in a very good place. I'm not where I used to be. But that takes time, fellas. Yeah. Divorcers, that takes time. It doesn't come easy. You need to go through the grieving process. And that brings us to grieving. The 5 stages of grieving. Losing someone in a relationship is, the mind perceives it as a death. Yeah. Like you just lost someone that you really care for that passed away.
I'm texting you at midnight every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Anyway.
So the first stage of the grieving process is denial. Right? You don't want to believe it. Yeah, you don't want to believe it.
Well, what if she's just having a moment? What if it's not really over? Maybe she's not in the right senses. Maybe she didn't know what she was thinking. Oh, her stupid friends must have told her. It's not her fault. It's her friend. Man, all these things run through your mind, bro. I mean, I had 1,000,001 reasons to try to back her up, because especially, I think in our culture, Hispanics, right?
Right.
You don't want to be that couple that didn't make it.
You don't.
You're looked upon as you go to the family party, y la novia, hey, ¿qué pasó con esta? You don't want to hear that.
Hey, and Latinos are harsh, man. If you're single for like 5 years, they start saying you're gay.
No, yeah.
And nothing wrong with that.
I was single for 2.5 years. I didn't do nothing, and I finally got some people telling me they thought I was gay.
Oh yeah. Oh man, they're
finding myself.
they're quick to pull the trigger, and they're like, "Hey, have you noticed that I haven't seen him with a girl, but he hangs out with that one guy. I don't know."
Yeah. Not only that, family could be dirty, bro, because they'll not only pull that one on you, they'll also talk shit like, "Oh, well, that's why she left you.
That's why yeah.
That's why she found someone better."
Yeah.
Like not even knowing the drama, but they will anything you do to make them mad. You don't give your grandma chips and salsa when she wants it. No, pues por eso te dejó.
No wonder.
So
So here we go. We got anger, denial, and then we got anger. When you're gonna get angry, right? You're gonna start, blaming everyone.
I was a baby Hulk, bro.
You start blaming everyone. You start thinking back. Anyone who could have contributed to it. The new friend that started hanging around with her.
Oh my God, bro. Yes.
The co-workers, the cousin who just went through a divorce, and all of a sudden she must have put that in his head. Exactly. Oh my God, yes. Now all of a sudden she wants to start going out more because her best friend just got divorced, and now she feels like she needs to be there for her. But what is she doing? She's getting away from you.
I remember for the longest, bro, I was blaming the guy she cheated on.
Okay.
And in my case, and I'm gonna put it out there and go fuck someone I went to school with, some fool from the hood. I was blaming him for the longest, but that's almost part of denial. But it's now it's the anger, right?
Right, it's the anger and denial both together, right?
Never DM'd her, she would have not fell for. Guys, do you just listen to me right now? Do you see how weak you sound?
Yeah.
That's how I would be saying that. Like, oh man, maybe if this guy wouldn't have DM'd her, she would have never went off. They would have never went and dated. They never would have done the coochie, whatever. Bro, it was meant to happen regardless. Like, the woman had her mindset. If you guys listen to episode 1, you guys already know.
She already knew she was leaving. Yes.
She just needed a new toy to jump on. It could have been anyone. In this case, it was homeboy.
Right.
So anger.
Anger is tough.
Well, you got to go through it.
If you go through it and you bounce back and forth, denial, anger, and then here comes bargaining.
How long would you say anger and denial you'll be in that stage?
Oh man, that's tough because I don't know.
I want to say anywhere from 6 months to a year.
Probably. It could be,
I mean, it could go longer, but on the average, 6 months to a year, you'll be denial, anger.
I think everyone is a little different, but yeah, I would say...
Remember, every day goes by, it hurts a little less. It really does.
Yeah, you give yourself some time to go through these stages. It's hard to say, to really pinpoint how long you should be in every stage. I remember when I was going through my thing, I was going to therapy, and I told my therapist, like, I think I'm already in acceptance, and it had been 3 weeks, and my therapist was like, no, that's not the way it works.
That's not the way it works.
That's denial. You
went back to denial.
Yeah, you're in the beginning.
You were just going to anger.
Right.
You went back to denial.
So you just got to give your time. You'll see yourself evolving, and you'll see yourself moving forward, right? So, bargaining.
Explain bargaining for those that...
Bargaining is when you try to reason with her and you try to tell her, what if I change? Let's make this work. What if I quit drinking? What if I start working out again? What if I lose my belly fat? What if I get a better job? I get less hours? What if I become more sensitive to your likes and I start going to watch those rom-com movies? Or I start taking yoga with you, Pilates, or I take you on that trip that you always wanted to go. You start trying to bargain your way back into the relationship.
And you know what's funny about bargaining? That you think you do that from the beginning, before denial. And I think it's just funny how like you're in denial first, and it's almost bargaining. It's almost like you're in denial.
Yeah,
it's done, bro.
It's done.
You're still trying to make
it's done, and at this point, it's done. Yeah. So anything that you offer to give her, all she does is say no, no.
You're just giving her more power, bro.
More power because now she says, you always say that. Yeah. And you're not going to stop drinking.
Or why is it he's trying to get this out? No, let me see. No, hell no. He has something to hide or he has something to lose.
Right.
Guys, don't.
It doesn't work, man.
If I would say from all these, try to restrain from bargaining. I mean, go through all of them, but bargaining, try to write it down somewhere, bro, and don't give it to her. Like, just get it off your chest.
Bargaining could also be when you sit down with her and then you write down your new contract. Hey, this is what's gonna happen. This is how we're gonna get divorced. Guys, be smart about it and use it. Right. Yeah. Now we got depression. Depression is Oh my God, depression is tough.
That one can stay for a while.
Depression could stay for a long time, and it's very
just different
dangerous.
levels.
It's
You
dangerous.
could be depressed of you guys splitting up, depressed of what's going on with your kids, depressed of you seeing her with another man, depressed that your lawyer's taking you to the cleaners. It can be
Depressed that you're eating top ramen every day because you never learned how to cook, and you got no money.
no money.
Right? So depression is very dangerous, and you want to be alone. You want to just not be around anyone.
But you have to.
But you have to. You have to.
I think this was really important, bro, because as men, we don't like to admit depression. We don't. And this is
because it's admitting
time
weakness.
Serious. I've known a few dudes that have taken their life over depression, right? And it's not a pretty sight, dog, because it's like there's so much to live for. I get it. This chapter of your life is over. Think of it that way. And think of it as a book. This chapter is over. You're done. You passed it. But don't let that be the end of the book. Because, I mean, bro, this is something I'm really, really adamant about, depression. There's a lot of good dads. A lot of good dads, bro, that get hit with depression. Not just during the separation, during the custody,
right,
during the child support, during the wage garnishments. Like, you start to double think and you just double guess yourself and like, fuck, am I really a good dad? Am I really a good provider? I know why is a court, man, the judge will make you feel this small. For you guys that can't see, I'm pinching my fingers. You go to court and the judge will make you feel like you're the biggest piece of crap in the world. And you know what I've noticed, bro? The system is designed.
It is. It's not for us. This is why I say try to stay out of court. Try to stay away from lawyers if you can. Unfortunately, sometimes you can't avoid it. And she's coming with the arsenal, especially if you're the one that stepped out. If you're the one that wanted to end it.
Yeah. If
you're the one that cheated. If the man is the one. Oh my God.
I don't know, bro. She's the one that cheated on mine. I'm getting the shit.
Well, that goes to show how the system just doesn't work for us, right?
I don't want to veer off too much on the rabbit trail, but guys, depression, deal with it. I mean, there's hotlines. Have that one friend, two friends you can call.
You need to
have someone on standby at all times.
Because depression brings out that suicide that you just mentioned. It does. You start second guessing your life and your worth.
I think we can say that on YouTube, so you might have to bleep. They might flag it.
Okay.
So that's why we gotta change it with.
So depression might bring you trying to hurt yourself in a permanent way.
Yes.
Right? And you start questioning your self-worth.
Your self-worth.
You start questioning whether or not you're a man enough, whether you're just human enough, whether you have a good enough heart.
It's bad enough that I think that's been brought on through years of being in bad relationships that you question it already, right?
Right.
And now seeing it, on paper,
right?
Damn, you really start believing it. So, guys, if you are at that stage, have someone to talk to. DM us.
Honestly, DM us, yes, absolutely, anytime.
And honestly, at this point, if you DM and you really need to talk to somebody, leave your number. We'll call back.
Yeah, we'll definitely call back. And if you're in the area, hey, we'll meet up for a pina colada or a brew or coffee, whatever it is that you want to. Or maybe it's just a phone call.
I'm more of a taco guy.
Maybe it's just a phone call. You just want to get on the phone and say, hey, man, this is how I'm feeling.
I honestly think I had 3 outlets. You were one of them. I had a homie named George. And my uncle.
Your uncle, okay. You're lucky.
Yeah.
You had 3.
And you've always been available. George has always been available. My uncle, he just knows how to make me laugh. So it's really important you have somebody.
And someone that went through it is much more help because they understand. I remember my mentor, we weren't even really close friends. We worked together, and just in passing, I mentioned to him that I was going through a divorce because he rides a motorcycle, I ride a motorcycle, and we just started talking. And he told me, he said, hey man, I've been through it. And that same night, he texted me because a lot of people will tell you, I'm here for you. You need to talk. And then you never hear from them again. Yeah. And that's fine. I get it. Life, whatever. But this person, because he's been through it, he texted me later that night and said, hey bro, how are you? What are you doing? And
guys, on that note, I'm gonna tell you, accept the text.
Yes.
Don't think it's weird. Don't look at it like, oh fuck, what do I do? if they're reaching out, you reach back, because that takes a lot for another man to reach out to another person, another man, right? I know for me it was kind of awkward because we don't like to ask for help.
We don't.
And when you text me, bro, it was awkward.
Right.
Because we had just talked, and I think it was like the very next day you called in. You texted me.
Right. To see how you were doing. Yeah. Because I recognize it.
I was like, damn, like, this guy's for real.
Yeah, I recognize it, right? So with my friend, he said, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm having a beer right now." He's like, "Where you at?" So I told him where at the bar I was at. I was alone, and he came and he sat down next to me and said, "What's going on, man? How are you?" And I decided to trust him just because I knew he didn't have any contact with anyone else that I knew.
Right.
As far as my tight circle of friends. So I started opening up to him, and he opened up to me and told me, "Hey," and we basically had the same story, right? Yeah. It's when the woman checks out and she wants out. So we kind of bounced back and forth, and that's when he told me, he said, "Hey, what's going on, and where you at, and how fresh is this?" And I told him, and he said, "Oh, well, look, I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Mm-hmm. You're going to feel like the walls in your apartment are caving in, and you're going to have to get out. You're just going to have to be around other people,
and that's hard.
It is hard
to come out when you don't feel like coming out. So that's another thing. Make the effort, especially when you have someone that's actually reaching out to you.
Right, and we hung out, and he was my mentor, man. I'm very, very much appreciate, because he didn't have to do that,
Well, now you know how I feel about you.
He didn't have to do that, but now that I went through it, I understand the importance it is, and it's all about paying it forward. Yeah. That's why we have Divorced Heroes, right? Because it's all about paying it forward to try to help other people that may be in a situation. Yeah. Because there's not a lot of things out there for the guys.
There really isn't, bro. And when they tell you, it's very vague. It's almost like a unicorn or a pot of gold. It's like, oh, well, I heard about something over down the line. You have to go search it, and then when you look it up, it doesn't exist. And then finally, acceptance, man. Accept what is going on. Accept that it's over. Accept that you need to move on. Accept that you need the help. There's a lot of acceptance you got to do.
Once you reach acceptance, that's when you're able to start working on yourself.
Yes.
That's really when you start to say, okay, this is my new reality. Mm-hmm. This is my new life. Seeing my children on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, or every other weekend, or 50% if you're really, really lucky and you spent over $30,000 on a lawyer.
45.
and you were able to get 50% physical and legal. I mean, whatever it is. But once you have everything set in front of you and it's done, you accept it, and now you're able to reinvent yourself. You're able to rediscover yourself.
Yes, that's important.
You're able to now just move forward and start new adventures in your life, whether it's going to be dating, whether it's going to be, just a new hobby,
working out. I mean, you name it. There's
whatever it is, right? But that's after you have already gone through the stages of grieving. So with that being said, guys, this is episode 2.
Part 1.
Part 1. What to do when it's over. Stay tuned for episode 2, part 2. This is the Divorced Hero along with the victorious one. And thank you guys for listening.
Don't forget, there's what? At the end of the tunnel?
There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and this will be over, guys. This will be over.
It's temporary.
It's temporary, and you just got to go through it. See you guys next time.